This is a 2023. It's around 1500. It's a crew cab short box 4x4. Now this is the Bighorn trim model. And what it is the only option added to this particular truck was the Hemi V8 with the e-torque. So if you're looking at a Bighorn and the standard package, this would be a great one to look at because it's going to give you an idea what the standard equipment is. So we're going to start by walking across the front. First thing you're going to notice is you get the 18-inch aluminum wheels. So they do look nice. They run with a Goodyear tire on them. They're in all seasons, so they're good in the winter, they're good in the snow, they're good in the, they're kind of a good all-around tire. So, I mean, if you're driving tons and tons and tons in the winter, I would recommend, probably upgrading to a good set of winters. But they're just a nice all-around tire. They're not too loud or noisy or obnoxious. Hemi V8 with the e-torque. So the e-torque, basically what there is there's a little extra belt that runs on the front of the engine. It spins the cam up when you're going to take off. Gives you quite a bit more torque out of the hole, picking up about 100 and some odd foot-pounds of torque, I believe it is. Peak torque's about the same. It's just you get way more torque down low at a lower RPM. So if you are pulling a trailer or you're driving, taking off at a street light or something like that, you got a little bit more jam to get going and get you up to speed. Now across the front, you're going to notice it's got the chrome grille with the chrome insets. Okay, punching into the Ram logo. So it dresses it up a little bit nice. The standard tradesman, if you were to compare it, they're just kind of like a black flat grille with like steel bumpers and stuff like that. So the Bighorn does dress it up a little bit nicer. You also get chrome bumpers on the front with all the black insets. Chrome logos on the side where you can see where it says Ram. You also get the chrome cap mirrors to dress it up a little bit. On the mirrors themselves, you get a little convex insert here, so it makes it easier to see in your down into your blind spots and stuff. So when you're driving and changing lanes and stuff, your chances of you cutting somebody off is a lot less because you can see them in your mirrors. Inside, we got a split bench seat. Okay, so this is a nice cloth seat with the nice side bolsters and supports. Same thing as with most of our trucks. We do the extra little pattern insets, so they're mix and matching the materials to dress them up. You'll see like they got extra pieces stitched in and stuff like that, just to make them look a little bit nicer. The headrest also ratchet forward. Okay, so if you're driving and you want it, you can kind of tilt that head a little bit, give yourself a little bit more head support. We're going to look at the center console when we get to the driver's side. I want to show you some of the different pockets and storage areas. But from over here, I will point this out. You can flip this up out of the way. Okay, and now you've got seat belts for 3 people across the front. So your girlfriend can snuggle up beside you if she wants to. Or if you're married like I am, and you can convince your wife to do that, then good on you. I can still talk to her, do it occasionally. Front shelf, we got a little shelving for some storage in there. Down below, there's a little glove box. There's some owner's manuals and some different things in there for reading up on it. Comes with floor mats. They're molded to fit. You see how they kind of cut out the floor line of the floor pan. So they fit in there really nice. They also got these little tabs here to hold them in place so they don't end up rolling all over ending up in a ball in the corner and doing you no good. So kind of handy that way. You can upgrade these. If you're going to be in heavy-duty mud, we have a lot of customers that pay extra for the all-weather mats, and they kind of like they're molded, and they kind of go up the side of the footwell there. So that might be something you want to take a look at. But once again, if you're not in muddy conditions all the time, or if it's mostly just you in the cab, maybe you don't need those. On the door panels, same thing with the Bighorns. You get a little bit nicer doors. They put like a little burnt wood in here, some metal, some cloth inserts. So it's stitched out pretty nice with the extra stitching in the doors. Little map pockets for some storage down below. So they've kind of mixed and matched the materials a lot. Just make it, dress it up a little bit. You also see you got a big grab handle here to help pull yourself in for the driver's side. Or probably the driver's side has one too. Like I said, I always point that out, but I don't know anybody that ever actually uses it. Everybody just kind of pulls themselves up with a steering wheel, but you got one on either end anyway. In the back seat, you got a bench in back here, okay, with the center armrest that folds down. So now you can flick this up out of the way if you like, and now you've got seats for 3 people. So you can seat up to 6 people if you want to. The rear headrest folds down. You just press that button. And the idea behind that is once you flip that forward, it's a lot easier to see out the back window because you haven't got the headrest in the way. And then as soon as the passenger hops in, you kind of flick them back up again. Also in the back, these seats lift up, and then you get a flat load floor that goes all the way across. So if you want to slide something in there, it's nice and easy. You're not trying to push something over the driveline hump. On the far side, that seat flips up too. So if you want to put like a foamy back here, you could, sleep on the floor if you're out camping or whatever with your buddies, and you don't want to hook up all your, your RV or whatever. You can do that. Same thing with the rear door we talked about on the front with all the different trim panel pieces, everything kind of connected together. On the back, you can see we added the rear mud flaps. Okay, so that's part of something we do on the PDI. That's included in the price that you see online. So it's all part and parcel of that, but it doesn't show up on the window stickers because it's something we add here. On the back, you'll see it's got the chrome rear bumper. It also has the dual exhaust tips coming out the back of the tailpipe, or the two tailpipes coming out. Mostly for the looks, let's be honest, but they do look cool, especially in the wintertime when it's idling with the smoke kind of coming out both sides. Looks pretty sharp. Chrome logos across the back, so you got the Ram logo, the Bighorn all done in the chrome. There's your backup cameras built right into there. In the box, you can see how the tailgate kind of lowered itself down real nice and easy. There's a little shock behind that tail light there to stop it from slamming down. Lots of toe hooks, places to tie your cargo off. There's little divider slots. You can cut like 2x6s or 2x8s and spread them across the box. It'll make like little, you kind of just fit them in these grooves there, one on either side. And then you can just like set things in the back and it stops them from rolling to the front. So let's say you got a couple of jerry cans you're filling up, put a board across there, then you just set your jerry cans in the back, and then when you get to where you're going, they're not, all over the box, laying on their side, dripping gas all over the floor, that sort of stuff. Box caps are standard equipment to help protect the top of the paint on the top of the box. So the idea is if you're sliding stuff in and out, you end up scraping up these plastic pieces. You just got to buy new plastic pieces. You don't have to come out and buy a whole new, take it to the body shop and get your box repainted. Okay, we're going to take a look at this side in the front here. I'll just show you how this seat flips up. Basically the same as the other side, you just lift it up. Idea behind that is if you had something kind of awkward, you could just kind of set it in there, and you'd still have room in the back for two people to sit there if you flip that center console up. So it gives you a little bit more functionality with the rear seats when they split fold like that. On the front, we got power windows, power locks, power mirrors. The mirrors are power folding. So you just press that middle button, and they fold in, and then you hit it again, and they'll fold back out again, which is kind of handy if you're in like a tight parking spot in the city or something along those lines. Manual seats, they got a recline, and then your lever there, forward and back, so same as the passenger seat. In the driver's seat, we're going to take a look at some of the buttons here now. Turn the radio down a little bit here, it's a little loud. Okay, so we got automatic headlights. Basically, as soon as it's dark enough out, your headlights are going to automatically turn on. And that's how you turn your cargo light box on in the back. You can kind of flick that on and you can see what you're doing. And this here's for your dash brightness, where your speedo and your tack and everything are there. Steering wheel, really nice steering wheel. It's nice, thick, leather coated, so it's comfortable on your hands. It's, not like a little cheesy plastic one, like they did an excellent job with that. Little touch panel here to control everything in the center dash column. On the dash, you got a nice big tack, you got a speedometer, fuel gauges, little center cluster here. Lots of information that you can access in there, like your distance to empty, fuel economies, anything to do with your vehicle, like tire pressure monitors, all that sort of stuff. It's all in there. So there's lots of access to different stuff that a guy can play with. Cruise control, so that everybody uses those, pretty familiar with that. And then we have our gear selectors for shifting up and down. Because it's an 8-speed automatic, okay, you can just basically pop it into drive, and then you can use this to shift down and shift up. All you got to do is hit the plus-minus button, so it's pretty handy for that. Two-wheel drive, 4 high and 4 low, pretty straightforward. You just pick what you want to be in, and away you go, and hit the button. It'll shift for you. You can do it on the fly. You also have the automatic start-stop override. With the e-torque engine, what it'll do is if you're sitting in stop-and-go traffic with your foot on the brake, it's going to shut the engine off to help save you on fuel. And then when you go to take off, like you take your foot off the brake, it's going to spin that belt up that we talked about with the e-torque, and then spin the cam over and get the vehicle running. It's totally seamless. You can't feel the difference between when it's running on electric power versus when it's running on gas power. I've tried. I can't pick it up at all. But and the other nice thing about this system is you're not engaging the starter into the flywheel and wrecking it. So it's going to last a lot longer than, say, some of our competitors' models where every time you take your foot off the brake, it's hitting the starter into the flywheel and spinning gears and stuff like that. This just spins the belt and away you go. A couple other things. Nice stereo, AM, FM radio. It's also got your media input or inputs for your media. So if you pair your phone up, you can use that through there. You can access your phone, just by hitting the button once your phone's all paired up and set up. So you can take hands-free calling, all that kind of stuff. Heater controls, nice and easy, right? Where you want your air to blow, you can turn your heated mirrors on by hitting that button. Hot or cold air, and how much air you want. You just by turning the dials. Traction control, if you decide you want to spin your tires for some reason, you can just do that. Then it'll disable your traction control and allow you to spin out. And then you can also hit your tow haul mode if you're pulling a little trailer or something you want it to shift a bit better for pulling. Nice big tray here. I really like this. It's quite big and deep. You can put a lot of junk in there. It's got a little liner here that comes out, so if you get your coins all dirty and gucky and you want to clean it, you can. You don't have to try to pick away at it. You can just take it out and hose it off. But nice, great area for, change, junk, masks, if they ever decide to bring those back again. Hopefully not. In the center console, we've got, this flips up out of the way. There's some storage under here as well, so you can keep some different stuff in there. Gives you a little bit extra cushion or extra space, which you might as well use with the, underneath the seat. Otherwise, it's just sitting there empty. A couple of cup holders here for your beverages. This is probably, if you're driving by yourself, is where you're going to do it. Just leave this armrest down because it makes it like a little bucket seat type thing. And then underneath here, same thing. We've got some storage areas in here. You've got a USB port that you can plug your cell phone in. And actually, you can plug your cell phone in here and then just run the cord through here. Leave your cell phone sitting right here to charge. It's everything's all neat and tidy. Little places on the side you can like leave a pen in here so you can find it when you're rooting around. And once again, little tray here that with a inner liner that you can take out if you want to go clean it if you get a bunch of gunk in there. Okay, a couple more things overhead. We got a little cup holder place for your sunglasses. You can kind of toss them up there and it won't get all scratched up. And then you can just turn your dome lights off and on with those switches. Okay, so if you're looking to get yourself into a new truck, this is probably a great one to take a peek at. You could compare this model, for instance, to say anything that we're making in the tradesman level on the classics. And they're a little more for the newer body style. But if we got a customer who's not sure which one they like better, we usually ask you guys to come on in, drive them both back to back, and then make your decision which one you like better. I myself, I prefer the new body style. But I like newer stuff too. But the classics are great too. So it just depends what your preference is, because I've had other people, prefer to buy the classics over the new bodies. But price-wise, like I said, a little bit more to buy this one over the classic style. But both are great values. So when you get a minute, just give us a call. Let's set a time to get together and come on down, have a cup of coffee, go for a drive, and we'll send you home in a new truck. Hope to see you soon.